English for it.
Good afternoon to all. A very warm welcome on behalf of Team GIS. Innovation is life. Today's session, we have Mr. Saurabh Mathur to share his journey, a story of innovations. Mr. Saurabh Mehta is a technology strategies and entrepreneurial innovator. Mr. Saurabh Mehta is president of TAI Ahmedabad. He has postgraduate degree in engineering and applied sciences from the University of Maryland in United States. He has over 28 years of experience in planning, designing, and implementing information systems, building world-class products using cutting-edge technologies, and managing international projects and relationships for a variety of businesses across the globe. We welcome Mr. Saurabh Mehta. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can I have the control of the screen so I can start? Hello? Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you, GS Foundation. I suppose everybody can hear me and see my screen, please. Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, GS Foundation, for giving me the opportunity to talk about myself. This is something which I don't normally do, and I try to not talk about myself. I always try to listen. And today I'm going to talk about myself and somebody else is going to listen. So this is a new experience for me. Anyway, so I have about 25 years of experience, 30 years of experience in the IT industry across the world. And I'm just going to walk you through whatever I have achieved, what I think I have achieved, and what I've done over a period of time, and what has given me great pleasure, and what are my successes and failures. And also, I'm going to talk about my learnings from all these years of experience, and then we can take up some questions if there is time enough to do that. Okay, so my name is Saurabh Mehta. I have 25 years of experience in planning, designing, and implementing information systems. I am president of TAI Ahmedabad. I also am regional council member NESCOM, which is a body of IT companies. And I'm on advisor, mentor, and on board of number of IT companies. I also worked as a board member on a technical education board of Gujarat, and have done some other work with the universities like IIT, Gandhinagar, given lectures, etc. I'm also a board member of some foundations, there is a temple foundation, which is a family temple, but it's a charitable foundation, and another foundation called I Help My India. Just one sec. Okay, and on the professional front, I am a founder of a multiple number of companies. My core company was Ahmedabad Technologies, a software services company since 1992. Then I have created Travel Karma, which is an online technology platform with more than 200 plus customers in 64 countries. Then Mega Mall India was a brainchild of mine in the early 90s. And I have basically been, it was something which I did. But then there was a dot-com bust. I don't know how many of you know about that or remember that. Then there is a trip planner. It was a funded startup. Then Tourviz is one of the startups currently I'm sponsoring and working with. And then there is a D-Exchange, which I have sold out anyway. So, I mean, over a period of time, I've formed multiple companies, worked in multiple areas. This is just to give you a brief idea of what I have done all these years. And so my experience in setting up companies in different places in the world. And so the next slide, what I'll talk about is my journey through the decades. So 1991, I started a services company in Ahmedabad, coming back from the US. And, I had customers, started working with Ahmedabad companies and then started working with international companies since 1994, 95, and have never looked back. Then I set up offices in a period of 2008, 2007 to 14. I set up additional offices in various parts of the world. And we had representations and actual offices and companies which we set up in LATAM, EU, and the US. In fact, I acquired a couple of companies in Germany. Then we moved from the services to solutions focus, also creating more solutions rather than just plain vanilla services, just to give more value and charge more, make more money out of it. Then at some point of time, I have excuse me. Yeah, at some point of time, I mean, over 2014-20, I created a SaaS platform and started working with certain enterprise solutions, sold off certain businesses, and created new businesses. And 2020 onwards, we are working in some cutting-edge technologies, latest technologies, AI, ML, etc. But basically, we are creating our own solution, our own products, and our own business out of it. I have my companies have worked different. Have gone different awards. It's like top 100 IT innovators, top 30 travel innovators, top SaaS app by NASCOM. So basically, we have had my experience spans with global offices, manpower, award-winning softwares, and very flexible. We serve with SMEs to enterprise in various forms. So just to talk about my some experiences which I have, which I call as transformational experiences. Something when hello. Yeah. So something when businessmen, when you're running a business, some things which transform you. So when I started out first, I started a solution called Finesse. We nearly sold 10,000 copies of the product. It was just on a floppy disk, and more than 10,000 copies at 1,000 rupees. It was great business. And that was the first experience when some big company approached me to buy my business out to shut it down. And the company was so big, and the offering they were giving is 5 times or whatever it is. In those days, it was a very big amount. And maybe I sold that business for the simple reason that I wanted to generate capital. So selling that small business of accounting software, one of the first accounting softwares, which is completely on floppy and could be used at security. Nobody could crack it without a password. It was completely encrypted. Unfortunately, people also used it for different type of accounting. So anyway, that was very interesting. Then I also got into the BPO business. I went to the US, set up a company in the US, tied up with a company in the US. We made a very big, one of the first BPOs, I think in those days, it was not even called a BPO, translating documents, making documents digital. So we are doing like 30,000 pages a month, or then we started to 300,000 pages a month, set up 4 places in India. And it was really, seriously, it was a very boring business. There were hundreds of people working, not for us, we had freelancers. But it was a great model. We only had quality assurance people, and the rest was all done by typists all over. Anybody who had a computer could come to us, and we pay them like $3 a page or $4 a page. So it was high accuracy. It was a great business in the terms of making money. But did not interest me, and then one of my partners bought me out. So it was great. Then another thing I did, then I was always into the services business in India and abroad. One of the first things, first when the e-commerce started, Yahoo started, I also built a software called Megamall India. And that was a transformative experience in the sense it was the first time we created a web-based mall, a web-based shopping site in 1999 to 2001. In fact, 2 years it lasted. We spent more than 50 lakhs, 35, 40 lakhs, which was a great amount in those days. The .com, we were talking to GVFL and other few other people. Then the .com bust came, and we had to shut it down because nobody was financing it. But what that did was give me a lot of learning, and it became a showcase for getting lots of services projects from across the world. Once things started moving, online projects. So we built a lot of online system based on the just showing this product out there. I mean, this solution out there. And 2011, we got about 7 or 8 different awards, and which was recognized by the industry, not only here but also in South America and in the US. And that was a great sense of satisfaction, sense of achievement, and learning and everything else. But it was great fun to have that. Then basically, some of the businesses I was in, there are some big companies wanted those business because I was working with 3M Corporation in the healthcare division. I was working with the Mount Sinai Hospital in the healthcare division, and we had a very big business out there. So they wanted to buy us out. Otherwise, they were squeezing us out. So we sold that business. In one of the business, somebody offered us to do a JV. Otherwise, they had more influence than us on the customers which we had in the government which we were working with. So we did even a JV and stake and cash. So yes, there are a lot of fluid movements and a lot of things which we did outside India, which I did outside India. But basically, yeah, I sold off a lot of things and then just focused on travel and built out the travel portals since 14 to till day to day. And we created a travel platform, travel technology, etc. That's what my focus is. And last year we did a phenomenal amount, amazing kind of solution for Saudi Arabia. Basically, it's the world's largest religious travel platform and a distribution platform. And like it's just $30 billion of worth of US business would have been done through it if COVID hadn't come, but it will be done next year. They have a captive, obviously, they have a captive business, which is called religious tourism. I mean, nobody can replicate that. So that's what they want to manage and control throughout an online system. So we did this project from concept to execution to implementation to go live within 1 year, less than about 12 to 13 months. And that it was a phenomenal sense of achievement, which I have, just great. I mean, it was one of the most amazing, most complicated, one of these things, and my team could do it. All of these things happen because I have a team, I have people, I have investors, I have people, mentors or guides or whatever you call it, advisors. And a lot of things happened in my life. All these events have happened is because I keep on moving, I keep on changing. So what is this learning? See, basically, I have phenomenal experience across the world. I've dealt with customers in 64 countries. Means when I say I mean the team. It's never an I. For me, it's always the team. But yes, personally, I have amassed a lot of experience in understanding cultures, businesses across the world. I have traveled to more than 32, 33 countries. So I do understand how business is conducted in different places in the world. I mean, what you should do, when should you do business, when you should talk personal, when you have, there's so many different people, so many different levels of people I have met in this. So at the end of the day, I have understood experience is the king. If you have the experience, you can create, opportunities where nothing seems can happen. So what are my learnings from all these years of experience? I'll just walk you through very quickly through all the different learning. So, but basically before that, just one more slide. How do I do business? Because I'm one person. Like I said, I have guides, mentors, I have advisors. But the basically working with customers, multiple small companies or big companies, extensive traveling, and still need to be in control, still need to understand what's happening in business. So the way I work is I focus on technology. I utilize everything on technology. Even before COVID, I mean, COVID told you about remote working and all. I was always remote working because I was traveling every 15 days in a month or 15 days in 2 months. I was out of the country, and I've been traveling since till February of 2020. So basically, I use all sorts of technologies in an entire company so that increase. It allows us to build very efficient software, these efficient services, value-added services, and with reduced resources. We use technology to reduce the amount of effort we have to do, so we can make more profit and increase efficiency. Relentless focus on internal efficiency. Internally, I'm very hard. Everything has to be reporting. Everything has to be very efficient. And one very important thing which I do is I hire very people I trust and people I can delegate to. So I hire competent people. And third is like, if you want to have efficiencies, etc., you have to be process driven. So there are processes. There are times where every day morning we have a certain process. Every day with the senior P team, every week we have a certain process. So basically, we allow that distribution of responsibility. So I don't have to keep micromanaging everything and anything. It allows me a lot of time for doing strategy, doing planning, maybe playing golf, whatever it is. So basically, I get a lot of time to myself, and I'm the most non-busy person in the whole company. So that's the whole idea. In the whole, not in the company, in the various companies, wherever it is, I'm always free, sort of. But there are things happening. I have technology, I have a computer, I can always keep tabs on things. So that's where the processes come in. And last but not least, one of the things which I am very obsessive about is continuous monitoring of cash flows, long term, short term. And I play around every weekend. That's what I do. I play around with the cash flow. I see what is happening, what numbers are coming in, and I have a 2-year, 3-year business plan always, and see where I'm going on the business plan in a particular business. And if there is some problem, I see some problem, I read a lot because I get a lot of time. I see some problems occurring, or I see some technology issues going to come up, or somebody going to buy us out. I quickly pivot and change, because what happens is, if I have control on the money, I know exactly where the money is going. I feel that's where the crux of the business is. People don't understand where the money goes, and suddenly the business goes bust. But yes, when I need money, I know that. When I will need money, I know that. 2 years in the future, I always have a plan, and I keep on monitoring the plan. So this is my business mantra. This is what I do: technology, efficiency, processes, and money. So what are the lessons I have learned over this experience? Okay, so I'll just in a snapshot give some ideas about the various lessons which I have learned. In the early days when I started out, like 1991, and I came to India, I started out. There was no phone. I had to pay 15,000 to get a phone from somebody else. Okay, and there was a high interest rate, so it was very difficult to get money. And there was nothing like a venture capitalist, nothing like that. So it was an organic growth. It was slow growth. I had to put in my money, my family money, and so it was pretty difficult, and it was not easy to do an IT business in those days, right? And there are people were saying computer costs you 80,000 rupees. Why are you charging 25,000 rupees for the service, or 1 lakh rupees for the service? So it was very difficult to work and do business in the early days. But I hate giving up. So the thing is, I always stick to what I do, and lagero munna by types, and focus on what I want to do. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. It's like Mark Twain says. So basically, the whole idea is, you just start and you keep on doing the business. So I have this philosophy with learning. I said that there is every solution in every problem. So there is you can always find a solution to a problem. So if you start looking at solutions, you'll always find one. So like internet was very slow in the early days. We sent duplicate disk, we use DHL, we use FedEx, but we sent disk. Cost of communication was so high. Calling was like 160 rupees a minute to 90 rupees a minute to 60 rupees a minute. It came down over the years. So we found a network called CompuServe, which was earlier than internet. And the CompuServe we could access through BSNL, and it was slow, but it could get the emails and everything else done. So when the internet came, I said we have to get internet, whatever it costs. So we paid 25,000 rupees or 30,000 rupees to get the first internet installed. And then one of the things I do is I hire really smart people. So whatever it takes, you have to have smart people. And this I learned, from one of our business people I always follow. And because we are into stock market quite a bit in the family, is Dhirubhai. Dhirubhai always is to hire the best people available. So I also try to hire the smartest people available to me within my resources. And I do profit sharing, which again is another philosophy followed by most of the large business houses. So with that, I was able to create businesses. I was able to run businesses, and basically, I got myself free from micromanagement. Another thing is, we Indians allow emotions to drive our decisions. When in 1993, 1994, 95, I was in the US, 95 again in 96. Couple of very big companies in the US approached me to say, why don't you become a partner in India and send us resources, kind of body shopping. And you help us build, we need so this resources, you send us this cobalt. The year 2000 was going to come, there was, so there needed a lot of resources for cobalt, etc. So I thought, yeah, I'm a technology guy. I'm great at programming. I build solutions. Why would I want to do all this body shopping? But what I didn't realize that all of the big companies today, who are big, very big today, billion-dollar companies, they all did this in the initial stages at that time, and they built finances. So I let emotion cloud my decision, and I did not, basically what I would have done is, okay, fine, I sent resources. It's just like taking labor job, and it's a labor job. You take people from here and you send them into the US. They do the work. You don't even know what they do, but you make money, right? And that money frees you to do, helps you do a lot of other things. If you have money in your pocket, you can do whatever you want, right? You can indulge in whatever you want. So in terms of, I'm talking of businesses, you can set up new businesses, you can do hire new people, etc. You need the money. That's where Infosys started. They sent people abroad. That's where TCS started. That's where Wipro started. That's where they all made their money. Not only that, 200 other companies made the money. And I think it was very emotional. So never ever let emotion drive your decisions. Take very logical decisions. Take some advice. Take on the ground, see what is the situation. Maybe you don't like it emotionally, you're not very happy with it, but if it helps you make money, helps you get your business running, do it. That's my learning from this. I cannot stress, less the importance of a mentor or an investor or a board of, your board or advisors. You have to have this. The world is continuously based, very complex now. It's continuously changing, and there is a need for expansion. Always you have to expand. You are competing against people. You need money. You need this. But what these mentors do, they become like a sounding board. They give you, if you have people you can trust as mentors, they give you very sound advice. Like I had some mentors who was one of my earliest mentors was one of my professors from LD Engineering, and a couple of times I went to him with a problem, and he said, "Saurabh, drop it. Tardi nahi tha. It is not possible. Don't bother about it. Just change your path." So that kind of advice when you get from somebody who is not actually involved with you, but is involved with you in a sense to help you out, is amazing. The investors help you because his money is there, so he will come in with his own thing, but he will help you make a decision because he's also a stakeholder. So he will come up with suggestion, ideas, guidance, because his money is involved. So he'll come up with the right advice and right guidance, or he'll do research. He'll help you make contacts. He'll help you get networking because his money will grow if he does help you out, right? So that's the investor. The board is always experienced people. Experience always matters. If you have experienced people on the board, people who have done this, so that is what you need: advisors and a board. If you have the board, it will also give clients the assurance that or your tenant, there is a board, there is a qualified number of people who will actually run the business if you are incapacitated or incapable of running the business. And we all saw that how it happens in COVID, right? If you have some vendors and if the boss goes off, the business shuts down, or people don't answer you well, maybe If there was a board, there was advisors, proper management team, then it always helps. So this is very important to have in life, is to have a board or advisors or investors. Everyone has a place in life and they can always help you. So another thing is pivot. See, don't stick to something you're doing. If you're making losses, shut down the business. That's what I learned. If I'm making, somebody's trying to push me out of the business, he's very big, I sold off that business to him. We decided, got some feelers, make some money, get out of it. Otherwise, he would have eaten, he would have thrown me out. He would have gone undercut me like anything to my customers, and I would have been finished in that line of business. So I sold up 2, 3 business lines to customers. They made an offer, I took it out. I have formed JVs when they have not liked it, but you have to give somebody a stake because otherwise you'll be cut off. You have to do that. I did wanted to move out of services, given some value, so I started building solutions. So the value increased, we made more money. And you have to be very clear. If you're making losses, shut down your business, ignore society. And I've done that. There are certain businesses which I've shut down. It didn't work out. Shut it down. Don't worry what people will say. It's a failure. This is fine. There's somewhere else you'll always make money. And so pivot. Pivot means make changes, keep moving. You cannot stop doing business, right? So that's what you need to do. And I think in business, what I have done is always focus. At one time, I'm always focused on one thing, get to see it through and more. So you have to focus. Then you go for the niche, innovate. Keep on going for the niche, keep on innovating, think out of the box. So I built some solutions, I built some ideas, I built some frameworks, how to make more money, how to be more efficient, and keep changing so that you don't become stale. Customers want something new. You keep on showing more and more value to your customers, and obviously you have to play to your strength. And whenever you think out of the box, you don't think something you cannot do, something you can do, but you think out of the box. So this is very important if you want to succeed in your business. And last but not the least, is very important as a business person. I personally feel that you have to be greedy. You have to be hungry for success. You have to be hungry for money. You have to be hungry for fame. Otherwise, what's the point here? Why do you want to do business? Business is to make money. And anybody else who says, "I do business for the sake of doing business," I don't think everybody wants to make money. And so feel good about making money, but don't do it the wrong way. There is nothing wrong in being wealthy, but there is also something called be ethical. I'm telling you, I can tell you 3 experiences in life where people who have made a lot of money unethically have passed away at the age of 55 to 65. And I don't know how it works, but somehow or other it comes back to you. They make losses. Somewhere else they make a mistake. They have to go to jail. So be ethical while making money. This is something, please don't forget, that you should always be ethical. And giving back to society is great, but you have to make money first to give back to society, right? So making money is not bad. Somehow other in our Indian context, making money is not bad. It's thought as bad. No. I want to be wealthy. I want to be greedy. I want to be success. You remember, always the rich become philanthropists. Rich only donate, right? Poor cannot be philanthropists. So you have to become rich to donate. You have to become rich to give back to society. Have you ever heard of a poor person giving back to society? Hardly. So I think one should focus in business and focus on generating wealth for yourself, for your family, for your investors, for your people, for your own staff, and for your customers. So try to making money is, I think, very important. I think that's what all I wanted to talk to you. Thank you everyone for listening, and I think thank you GIS Foundation for giving me opportunity to talk about some things I'm very passionate about. One of them is making money. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your inputs.
Sure. Any questions or anything else somebody wants to ask or something? Hello.
Tapan Bhai is going to help us in taking oath.
So I'm done. So if anybody has any questions, or what's next?
I convey my sincere thanks for the informative, inspiring, and learning session. Saurabh Bhaji, we're thankful to all our supporters. Through them, we can reach 1.25 lakh peoples to Innovation Fraternity about this Innovation is Live talk series. We acknowledge and convey our gratitude to all Innovation Movement partners, Gujarat State Plastic Manufacturing Association, JCI IT Association, Gujarat Dye Stuff Manufacturers Association, Gujarat Chemical Association, Gujarat Pharmaceutical Association, Indian Drug Manufacturing Association, Gujarat University Startup and Entrepreneurship Council, PDPU Innovation and Incubation Center, Ganpati University Incubation Center. We are highly appreciate the financial support and powered by Welspun Group for this series. We are looking forward to have more sessions and more joining like-minded people to innovation journey to inculcate the culture of innovation, a motive of GIS Foundation. Once again, thank you very much to all of you, and we will see you soon in next Friday, Saturday at 4 p.m. Thank you very much to all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Saurabh.
Thank you, Sunil.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.